Team, hope you're all doing well. I wanted to go over today the importance of injury prevention. I think this is a very important topic that we've all dealt with over the years as distance runners and middle distance runners. And I think that trying to push through any type of injury to get towards your next goal simply is not worth it. Don't ever continue to train through any type of injury. I mean, if it's Achilles tendonitis, I mean, I've had all types of different injuries, and I want to also share some of the remedies, some of the things that I did over the years to overcome those particular injuries. And you may be dealing with something similar, so I hope this video on injury prevention is helpful for you. I've had one of the biggest injuries I had that was nagging and that lasted like several months was Achilles tendonitis. And I think with Achilles tendonitis, the more you run on it, if you feel any type of tension, if it feels sort of like a rubber band, you know, like the Achilles, especially with the amount of running that we do and the impact of each one of your foot strikes on the ground really does continue to place a lot of stress on the Achilles tendon. So yes, you can continue to run on it, but if it gets to a point where it's so tight and so painful, stop immediately. This isn't, Achilles tendonitis isn't the type of injury that will heal up very quickly. And the more routine, the more running that you do, the more volume you're putting in, will continue to make it worse. So don't ever continue to train when you have that tightness, that feeling of tightness in your Achilles. The best option, which isn't always the best to deal with, is complete rest. And I've had this several times over the years. There were times where I would take off 2 weeks completely, times where I would take off a month completely, no running at all. I would walk, do pull running, which pull running is a great remedy for any type of ailment you're dealing with, any type of injury. Obviously, without question, the best remedy is complete rest. But if you get in the deep end of a pool and you do pool running, okay, with a flotation device, so you make it easier on yourself, you don't have any impact on any of your joints, which is great, okay? There's no impact on your knees, there's no impact on your Achilles if you have Achilles tendonitis. So that's something I want you to keep in mind as a remedy, something, if you have access to a pool or a gym nearby, get in the deep end of your pool and do pool running, because that is almost equivalent to land running, because you have the water pressure, and again, there's no impact on your joints and on your ligaments, especially on the Achilles if you have Achilles tendonitis. A mixture of both warmth, so getting a heating pad and warming the Achilles before you do your run for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then icing the Achilles for about 10 to 15 minutes after your run. Do that religiously, okay? A mixture of both warmth as well as cold will help to heal that over time. Ibuprofen, taking ibuprofen as well is a great option. The best option, without question, like I mentioned earlier, is complete rest. But you can continue to run on the Achilles if it is not so painful that is continuing. If it's continuing to get worse, stop. There's always going to be other races to do, other races that you can compete in. Yes, it is a hindrance. Yes, it's a pain in the rear end to postpone the races that you were aiming for originally, but it's simply not worth continuing to train and your Achilles to continue to get worse. And then you eventually get to a point where you may have to have surgery on your Achilles. You do not want that. So that's what I would have to, that's some of the recommendations I would say in regards to Achilles tendonitis. Another form of injury that I had over the years, especially when I was in high school and college, was patellar tendonitis. Okay, I just got off a consultation call with one of my athletes that I coach, who's kind of dealing with the same type of injury right now. And he's still able to run, but you can still continue to run with patellar tendonitis. That's pain underneath your knee. And what I mentioned to him, and if you're having any type of knee injury, obviously always consult a physician first and foremost. That's the best way to go. But if you're feeling pain as you're running in with on the underneath your knee. Okay, the problem is a lot of times your patellar tendon is not in the correct groove. So a patellar tendon strap, you can find those on Amazon. I'll leave a link below if you're interested in that as well. But if you can get a patellar tendon strap that you can wear underneath your kneecap, okay, and that will help to keep your patellar tendon in the correct location, and instead of moving back and forth as you're running. Okay, the best option, yes, you can continue to still have, you still can continue to run with patellar tendonitis, but it is a pain in the rear end, and yes, it does take time. There are cases where, in my case, you will break off pieces of cartilage in your kneecap. That's what happened to me when I was in high school and in college. Actually, I started dealing with it in high school, but in college, I had to have 3 knee surgeries. They were all orthoscopic knee surgeries where they had to go in and scope out the what they call loose bodies, okay, loose cartilage. Had it done twice on my left knee and once on my right knee. Unfortunately, after I think it was 1997 or 1998, my sophomore, junior years in college, I never had any other issues outside of my knees would hurt after doing long runs in the cold, or when I was doing, sometimes doing track workouts, I would have issues with pain in my knees, but I was still able to run for several years, actually over a decade, fortunately, without having any issues with that. But there was a time where I would have to wear patellar straps underneath my knee, and it was a huge help. So if you're having any type of knee problems, knee issues, that may be a remedy that you might want to consider. Again, with the knees, similar with Achilles tendonitis, you can warm the knee prior to your workouts for about 5 to 10 minutes before you do your workout, and then afterward, ice your knee for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, what I did, and what I mentioned to that athlete that I coach on the call, is I take styrofoam cups, fill them up with water, put them in your freezer, wait till they freeze up, and then as you can use those cups to massage your kneecap for about 10 to 15 minutes after your run. And what I like about it is that as the ice is melting in the cup, you can just peel away the styrofoam cup and use that as a massage for your knee. Other types of injuries I've had, I ruptured my plantar teres tendon. They're really, that was when I was still in college. We were in Florida, at the University of Florida, doing a track and field camp, and I kept jumping down. We were staying at this camp, Camp McConnell. It's right near the University of Florida. And so I was on these bunks, and every morning I would jump down, and I didn't realize it, but it was like over several days, it continued to get worse. If you ever have that type of issue, you pretty much have to take about 2 to 3 months off completely. Don't even try to think about running on a ruptured plantar teres tendon. That is out of the question. So that may or may just complete rest with that. Don't push yourself in regards to doing any of type of training with that particular injury. Other major issues that I've had: piriformis syndrome. Okay, that's kind of like it runs in the back of your butt down to your back of your hamstring. I had that lasted for about 8 months when I was stationed in Belgium. I did a lot of pool running with that, no land running whatsoever, but that lasted for about 8 months. And I was getting ultrasound, I was working with physical therapists, I was working with mesotherapists to get that to heal up. And the thing is, with any type of injury, no matter what we do, even if it's the right thing, the human body, the way our Creator created the human body, it will heal up on its own time. You cannot rush it. Remember, if you're frustrated, if you want to give up, if you're fed up with putting in the work and you keep getting injured or you keep having to postpone your races, remember, at the end of the day, it's just running. Okay, your self-worth does not come down to how fast you run on the track or on the roads. Your family, your friends are still going to care about you regardless how fast you run, regardless if you get injured or not. Fortunately, you stay healthy, but there's always going to be other races to prepare for. It's just a matter of postponing for a little bit, maybe several weeks, maybe several months, but your body will heal up. You will get better. You will be back out there training. So I hope this video on injury prevention and some of the things that you can do in terms of remedies is helpful for you. Feel free to leave me a comment below if you're dealing with any type of injury. I'd love to hear kind of some of the things that you're doing to help speed up the recovery. Maybe some things that you're doing that you can share will help other athletes that see these videos, and I really appreciate you doing that. And again, thanks so much for all of you who like and share my videos. It really means a lot to me, and you all make this channel. So again, thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll talk to you guys and gals all in the next video.